Hello everybody, it's Erica with Not Your Average EDC, and today we're doing a rant video. It is rainy, it is cold, and I have the day off and a little bit of time. Let's talk about EDC redundancy. This came up the other day and I have some thoughts on it. So right here, we have the dictionary pulled up, and the word redundant means not or no longer needed or useful. That's what that word means for all of you that don't know. So, the other day, somebody commented on my video that my multi-tool carry was redundant. You have probably half a brain if you said that. I'm going to tell you why. So, first of all, I use the tools that I carry. I use all of them, so they're not redundant. And even if you were referring to the fact that there are like copies of these tools throughout my carry, really there aren't, so I'm just gonna go through them. So one of the multi-tools that I carry is this Spirit X, and then the other two are Swiss Army knives. I've been carrying these two together for a very long time. I've explained why, but I will kind of explain again in this video. So first, the Spirit X. We have a set of pliers, which you cannot find on either of these other tools. Not redundant. Close it up. We have on the outside here, if I can get them open, a very large double-sided file, not found on the other tools. We do have a can opener, which you can find on this. There will be a couple copies, but not as many as you would think. A large, if I can get it out, inline Phillips. Not found on these other ones because the Tinker has a T drive. These seriously have very different capabilities. You are so limited with a T drive, I rarely use the one on here because I just don't have enough room to work with in that manner. However, being inline on this, way more useful. Are you kidding me? I can turn this into a full-size Phillips. Pretty much. That, way more useful than the T drive, okay? So, not redundant. What else do we have on this bad boy? A massive set of scissors, not found on the other tools. So these are huge. These are what I would use for electrical work or any larger cutting tasks, because although the Mini Champ has tiny scissors, these are used for me, for like grooming, okay? So I use these all the time to cut little hangnails off, or like if I have, sometimes I get like the skin splits here and I'll cut that off. I've used them to cut my nails, but these have a way different capability than the massive ones on here, okay? So I would not consider that redundant. On the other side, we have a graciously large blade, okay? Is it comparable to the one on the Tinker? Yes. But honestly, at this point, no matter what multi-tool you buy, if it's going to be kind of like a full size, like one of these, the blade is going to come on it. I can't really help that. If I could have gotten like this without the blade, I would have, but I can't. So I can't really help that redundancy there. We have I guess I would call this some type of chisel. This has like a chisel edge right here and here with some wire strippers, I would assume. Not found on any of my other tools. a pretty large flathead can opener, which, yes, is found on the Tinker, but they're definitely different sizes. And I would be pretty comfortable using the Spirit X flathead as a light duty pry bar. We have a saw on the Spirit X, not found on the other multi-tools. And an inline reamer, awl, hole punch, whatever you would like to call it, leather punch. Not the same at all as the T-drive awl on the Tinker. These are made completely different anyway, even though they're both by the same brand, Victorinox. This awl is, it has like a channel of a grind. So this line in here is literally like a channel. It dips. And it's T-drive. Again, limited in my opinion. This is inline. You have this big hooky thing here. And this is like a straight chisel grind awl. So it's just ground on one side. Pretty darn sharp. Very different from the Tinker, okay? So, in my opinion, not really redundant at all. A very different tool set on this compared to the Tinker. The Tinker, we kind of just went through the tools because it doesn't have many. And the only one I didn't show is the small blade, which is small and short and fat. And I have found it useful for sure. Not found on my other tools at all. Like this blade shape, not on my other tools. Let's just quickly go through the mini champ. So we had those small grooming scissors, not found on the other tools. We have a tiny inline Phillips, not found on the other tools. This is the only tiny Phillips that I own, and it's the only one that fits in my Emerson Phillips screws. So really useful for doing my maintenance on those because I don't have another one that fits. A tiny, and in my opinion, useless pen blade, not found on the other tools. Are you seeing the pattern here, you knucklehead that said that I was redundant? Nail or cuticle pusher, whatever, not found on the other tools. A tiny, microscopic flathead, not found. And then some pretty neat tools here. The nail cleaner, not on the other tools, and I use that one a lot. A tiny straight razor blade that is ground on both sides. I've used this a ton for some like vinyl and silicone tubing jobs and stuff. Anything that you need a really precise little straight razor. Also, I have used this to cut splinters out of my fingers. Not found on the other tools. Oh my god. Let's see. There's one more in here. I think they call this an orange peeler, but it's kind of like a package opener too. If you didn't want to damage what was inside of the package, especially those like bubble wrap packages, this would be really good for opening those. Not found on the other tools. What a coincidence. And yes, we do have toothpick and tweezers in this, like on the Tinker. However, they're tiny and I also can't get them out. So I can only get them out on this model. Not redundant. Do you get it yet? I hope you do, because it's hilarious. Like, think about it. When you see like any type of tradesman truck or a laborer or like a carpenter or a painter or whatever, I'm not kidding, any of them will open up their pickup and have probably 4 toolboxes, 8,000 screwdrivers, 8,000 paint can openers, 2 bags of rags. Like, it just happens. It happens. So it's really weird that like you would call this redundant when there really genuinely are different tools on these. very, very minimal amounts of copycats within this, okay? They really do all have different tools. That's why I got them. It's not like I carry these for fun. I carry them because they have a different tool set on them that I actually use. And I'll give another example real quick. My bestest guy friend in the whole world, Jeremy, over on Instagram, his tag name is Bumblebee Bravery. He is a window repairman / window cleaner, whatever, over in California, and he carries multiple knives. One of them is a Benchmade bug out that he carries. And he carries it because the blade is so thin on this that it actually works perfectly for getting screens out on the houses that he's working on. Like, this is the most comfortable and best tool that he has found to do that task. So in his reality, in his world, his specific bug out used for that is not a knife anymore. It's a screen, pry bar, remover, whatever you want to call it. So that reduces from 2 knives to 1 knife now, because he has one for cutting and 1 knife that he uses as a pry bar. So in his world, it's not redundant because it's not a knife anymore for him. Just because it's marketed as a knife doesn't mean he's using it as a knife. And that's his choice. And I do the same thing with my stuff sometimes. So the only one that looks silly is you when you think that it's redundant, because it's not. And if you are a real life worker, if you are actually in the trades, if you are actually using your stuff, you will realize that people that are useful in this world carry stuff that is useful. Like, we carry it because we use it, we carry it because we're working, and our goal is to be productive in life. So obviously, I love everyone. And the person that commented that, I love you too. I genuinely do. I'm just giving you a little lesson because the only one that sounds silly is you. And the whole point of this channel and the whole point of this movement is to help each other learn and show each other cool tools that we use. And when you comment saying it's redundant and they're all the same, if somebody doesn't watch the whole video and is like, oh, this person said that she's carrying 3 tools that are all the same, I'm not even going to look into it because it's stupid, you're wrong. Like, you're influencing people in the wrong manner because they're not the same, they're not even close. And maybe someone one day would benefit from carrying these in their pockets because they all have different uses. Maybe someone out there is specifically looking for a little tiny straight razor blade on a tool to do things that I had mentioned earlier, and you are influencing them not to even bother because you're calling me redundant. So maybe next time just keep your comment to yourself, or you can just keep commenting like that, and all it does is help the channel, because whether your comments are negative or positive, it's still boosting the channel, so you can actually say whatever you want. But yeah, us tradesmen, us hard workers, even if we carry a lot of tools, we are not redundant. We're helping the world and being a positive influence. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. And as always, use your motherfucking shit. Have a good day.